God chose you before the world began to be holy, blameless, and full of love. And I think about that sometimes because if you consider what it means, the first part of that, God chose you before the world began. I think it ends up being one of those things that if you, whether or not you believe it's true or if you believe it's false, you're right. Because before the world begins means outside of time. And the nature of time is that in life we have hills and troughs. And the troughs of my life go so low and they keep digging deeper that sometimes I feel like a failure. And I don't say that disparagingly towards myself. I didn't say that I am a failure, but I do feel like a failure. And the reason why I feel like a failure is because I'm a dreamer, I'm a visionary. I've always had these idealistic visions for my life, and that isn't to say that they're right or I should pursue them, but they're in my mind and I desire them, and so I make sacrifices. But they don't come to fruition, and I keep struggling, but they still don't come to fruition, and I end up feeling like a failure. But rather than going towards the things that I want, rather than going towards all of these worldly pursuits, what if the meaning of my life, the meaning of our life, is to become holy, blameless, and full of love? Rather than all of these materialistic things, and I can let go of them right now, but that's what I mean by the nature of time. Later today and tomorrow I'm going to want them again. But the difficulty of my life and the adversity that I face is like a fire that I walk through, that we all walk through. And it eventually burns those things away. And we reach a point where we don't want the worldly temptations. We don't want success within this world. We want something greater. We want something that exists outside of time. We want to be holy in terms of unified under God and pure of heart. I imagine someone wearing all white and they're blameless, so they deserve to wear all white. They're blameless, and that's not to say that they've never done wrong, but they're forgiven. They're holy, they're unified under God, they're blameless, they're forgiven. And then you become what we all yearn for, to be full of love. And I believe that is what God chose all of us for. Before the world began, God chose you to be holy, blameless, and full of love. And the adversity, the struggle, everything that we go through, we think those sacrifices sometimes are meant to be a temporary difficulty that'll eventually deliver us what we want. But rather, they're going to, these turmoils that we go through, they're going to deliver us what we need. They're going to make us who we are, holy, blameless, and full of love.